Grounding, barefoot on the earth. It costs nothing to do this. I honestly believe that if there's a plane above us, I don't know if you guys can see that. I honestly believe that if everybody grounded themselves for an hour a day, even 30 minutes a day, in the United States, if we all did this, I think that there would be some shocking changes on the or in the health statistics, which here in the United States, the health statistics are just absolutely embarrassing. So there's more diabetes, chronic illness, there's more arthritis related issues, there's more cancer here, and it's just insane. Heart disease, yada yada yada. There is so much sickness here in the United States, regardless of the fact that we spend so much money on healthcare. I've said it once and I'll say it again. You'd think that there would be better health statistics. You'd think people would be healthier here, considering we have access to some of the best food, quality food in the world. But when you really look at it, people eat shit. They don't take advantage of the fact that they can have access to the herbs and supplements and the organic food. And even though organic food can be a lot better than it is now, it's still it's still so much better than what most nations, countries, etc. have. So we squander the gifts that we have here in the United States, and we, more often than not, at least statistically, we eat shit. Processed foods, fast food, we get bad sleep. So you'd think that with the stuff that we do have access to, and on top of that, you'd think that with all the experts and doctors and intellectuals and scientists, etc., you'd think we'd be a little bit healthier. Obviously, we're doing something wrong. So part of my mission is to inspire people to reconnect to essentially their higher self. The higher self is the part of you that does what's right, even when it's hard to do what's right. The higher self is the part of you that wants what's best for you, that wants you to say no to all of your addictions. The higher self is the part of you that wants you to go in the right direction. Your higher self is intimately connected to the greatest version of yourself. It is the greatest version of yourself. And we attain, or we merge with the higher self over a period of time through what the Stoic philosophers called Arete. When we live with virtue, when we live by taking actions that align us with our best version of ourselves, we stimulate the shedding of the old self and the emergence of the higher self. I hope that makes sense. So the Stoics referred to the higher self, for lack of a better term, as eudaimonia. And the Stoic philosophers believed that by living with arete, or virtue, or action that aligns you with your higher self, which is, you taking the action, taking the high road, especially in this world where it's so much easier to take the low road. By living with arete, by living with virtue, you align yourself with eudaimonia, which is just a fancy Stoic term, essentially, for the higher self. The higher self is the best version of yourself. Now, the Stoics referred to eudaimonia as the complete awakening or fusing of the inner daimon, or daemon, D-I-A-M-O-N. Not demon, not diamond, daemon. This can be translated in a multitude of different ways, but essentially it translates to the higher self. The higher self is the realized, fully liberated you. This, in essence, is crystallized and completely, this happens through Kundalini, in essence. Now, I don't want to get into a whole rant about that. Just don't. All I'm going to say, ladies and gentlemen, is that we should take action that makes us healthier. We should always strive for more, not less, and we should always strive to come out of suboptimal living patterns. The United States is in one of those suboptimal living patterns. Most people eat garbage food, they drink garbage water, and they breathe garbage air. And they're disconnected from the earth. We were designed by the Creator to be connected. We were designed by the Creator to get sun on our skin, We were designed by the Creator to spend time outdoors. The average American spends over 5 hours a day in front of screens, and these screens are weaponized with massive amounts of toxic blue light. Blue light goes into your photoreceptors, damages your melatonin, suppresses melatonin production, which is intimately connected to the health of your pineal gland and your brain. The blue light exposure completely destroys your circadian rhythm, which in turn diminishes and destroys your rest patterns. The blue light damages your neurotransmitters, your hormones. And all that light that you're taking in through your eyes, that's a meal, whether you're aware of that, or not. In the same way that your skin takes sunlight and does things with it, it's called vitamin D or hormone D. So does your eyes. When you take information, when you take light in through your eyes, through your photoreceptors, it goes into your brain. So what type of meal, what are you feeding your brain when you're sitting in front of your television for 4 or 5 hours a day, or rotting your mind in front of the stupid video games? Come on, guys. So again, part of my mission is to try to inspire people to take basic actions every day that can align them with their higher self. We need to get out of this suboptimal state here in the United States, and don't try to pretend that nothing's wrong. Luna. Again, the health statistics here are embarrassing. They are absolutely embarrassing. So, and nowadays, with the modern SJW movement, they're trying to make it seem like obesity is healthy and it's okay to be this dismantled version of yourself. Things are going downhill quick, folks. We are rapidly entering into a highly uncertain time and era here on this earth. Lunabug, come here. Hey. So, again, guys, take action daily towards greater health. Let me try to just hook Luna up one-handed. I think that would be my greatest message to humanity, is strive for more. Always strive for more. If you're not striving for more, it most likely means that you're in a suboptimal state and you're okay with it. Complacency is stagnation. Stagnation is death. When things stop moving, that's when problems happen, folks. Think about it. What happens when your blood stops moving in your body? It means you're dead. What happens when you stop breathing? Well, it means that your spirit leaves your body. What happens in a river when the water stops flowing? Stagnation equals death. When a river gets dammed up, more often than not, it means that the oxygen stops flowing abundantly to the life forms around where the stagnation is. The algae comes, the parasite comes, the fish die, you name it. Stagnation is death. Complacency is death. We should only comply with what's best for us as humans. We should never conform to the evil in this world, which is running the show currently. We are in a grand battle between good and evil, right and wrong, and the line in the sand has never been clearer. It's time to pick a side. And we fight this war, ladies and gentlemen, through our actions, through what we eat, through what we think, through what we feel, through what we do with our time. We live in an input equals output world, excuse me. We fight this war by taking responsibility for our own health, by becoming our own physicians. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't great doctors out there, because I know a handful of them, but 90% of them are doctors, medical doctors, who are also naturopathic doctors. They know what the grass is like on both sides of the fence, and I've had discussions with many of these naturopathic doctors who are also MDs. Not only have I communicated with them personally, but I've also, learned from them on the forums. And many of these conscious doctors who still honor the Hippocratic oath that they swore to take, they know that mainstream medicine is highly flawed. It's a one-sided story, folks. I know people who have been getting their high blood pressure treated for over 15 fucking years. I know people who have been on the cholesterol drugs for years. I've said it once and I'll say it again. Doctors are in the business of symptom management. They're not in the business of fixing problems. Now, there are entire councils of conscious doctors who know the truth, who know the power of nutrition. I've heard from many doctors that their nutritional schooling when they become a medical doctor is like it's hardly anything. It's like a quick like weekend course. Now, we even know through mainstream sources, such as but not limited to the Surgeon General. The Surgeon General will even tell you that 70 to 80, give or take, % of diseases that we experience here on Earth, and pathologies, mental problems, you name it, sickness, is directly linked to and caused by and influenced by the food we eat as people, the water we drink, and the air that we breathe. So, reconnect. Take your shoes off, clean your skin with the Dr. Kassar skin cleaning solution, and reconnect to the earth. It's that simple. Start replanting yourself. Start cleaning up your diet, clean up the air in your home, because you spend a large portion of your life inside. So turn your house into a health regeneration pod and start drinking cleaner water. It's really basic. Start blocking the blue light and get the minerals into your system. Try to make 80% of your diet, 70 to 80%, make the food that you eat come from whole foods, foods that the Creator created, not a bunch of boxed garbage filled full of vegetable oils and fortified with synthetic vitamins and filled full of toxic iron. Come on. This is a basic system that can quantum leap you into altered states of higher consciousness. Once you start getting the minerals back into your system and eating properly, you will probably start to experience an opening of your consciousness. All your glands and your internal organs will start getting cleaned up. They'll start working better, and they'll start working together properly, and you'll start to see the truth. You'll start to pierce the veil. You'll start to see through the control grid. You start to get some of your psychic abilities back. Diet is intimately connected to psychic abilities. Even though there are some psychics that are here in this world who are incredibly clairvoyant, who chain smoke cigarettes and eat garbage all day, many of them are just born with the gift. Imagine what they could be if they were healthier. A lot of psychics actually chain smoke or have strange dietary habits because it helps them feel grounded. But that's besides the point, folks. Plant your feet on the earth. You're like a seed that's waiting in dormancy, to be germinated. What happens when you give the seed the right constituents, the right moisture, the right amount of light, you name it? Well, there's a good chance they'll germinate. We have not germinated as a species. And if you think we have, you're drinking the New World Order soup. We have so much room for potential it'd make the average person's head spin. We have so much room for potential. But we're still a seed that hasn't even been put in the water yet, or on a damp cloth. Plant your feet back on the ground. Read Clinton Ober's book, Earthing, I believe it's called. Learn how walking barefoot not only supports your frame, it reduces pain. It reduces inflammation. Walking barefoot has an antioxidant effect. And someone recently asked me, can I walk barefoot on the dirt? Do I have to do it on the grass? I prefer doing both. In some respects, you get a stronger effect from the dirt. And in some cases, depending on your location, you get a stronger effect from the grass. Do both. The dirt's a little bit more hygienic in my opinion. Clean your skin with the Dr. Kassar skin cleaning solution before you ground yourself and after to get any gunk off of your feet. This is free. This entire field is a giant energy donating electron blanket. Grounding has a strong antioxidant effect. Imagine that. Do you think the Creator's stupid? The Creator designed us to spend time outdoors. It's that simple. But do you know that the average person nowadays will spend the majority of their life indoors? You spend 1/3 of your life indoors sleeping. You spend another large majority of your life indoors after work relaxing. And unfortunately, in most homes, people relax in front of their televisions, which again, the blue light. Blue light suppresses melatonin once it enters into the eyes, which goes into the brain. Blue light exposure at the wrong time of day tells your brain that it's the wrong time of day. It also tells it that it's the wrong season. This completely rewires your internal environmental switches, takes your circadian rhythm completely out of alignment, and destroys your hormones, neurotransmitters, and physiological rhythmic cycles. This is called a circadian rhythm. This is all very basic stuff. So the foundation of my system is food, water, air, grounding, and light, and a handful of other things, including but not limited to minerals, targeted and isolated vitamin therapy. It's very simple. When I say food, air, and water, what I mean by that is augment and alter, change the quality of food, water, and air you breathe. These are your primary fuel sources to the physical protoplasm. And so is being grounded, folks. Being grounded from an electrical perspective can be translated to returning to normal or returning to balance. We are biochemical, spiritual, protoplasmic, electrochemical beings. We're designed to stand barefoot on the earth, not all the time, but we're supposed to play outside. We're supposed to bathe in natural bodies of water, which has a very profound healing effect. Why? Well, largely because the water that you swim in, when you swim in natural bodies of water, is filled full of rocks and minerals. We've talked about crystal and gem and rock elixirs in the past. Put two and two together. But here in this world, many people think that swimming in natural bodies of water is dirty or unhygienic. Meanwhile, they have no problem every day standing in their New World Order gas chamber, their hot shower, which is, filled full of tap water, which is filled full of fluorine, fluoride compounds, disinfectant byproducts, algicides, cobalts, radioactive constituents, runoff, hexafluorosilicic acid, hydrofluorosilicic acid, chlorine, chloramine compounds, lime, inorganic calcium. Put two and two together. It's the most unhygienic thing that you could ever do. Especially if you're taking hot showers, because now you're freebasing the steam. It's going right into your lungs, which is a direct portal to your blood. Come on. Think for yourself. Question authority, as Timothy Leary always liked to say. Think for yourself. Question authority. Well, what does water have to do with authority, bro? What does food have to do with questioning authority, bro? Has everything to do with it. Your body's processes are all out of alignment. That's one of the primary foundations of my channel, or my ethos, if you will. We are out of alignment. What do you do with your car when it's out of alignment? You take it to get tuned. Everybody's walking around out here in the land of the dead, completely out of alignment, thinking that they know everything. I have a degree and an MD and a PhD, and I'm so smart, I'm an intellectual. Well, yeah, a lot of good it's done you. You've had endless summer syndrome for the last 30 years, but yeah, a lot of good it's done you. Get all your degrees and whatnot. Your body's circadian rhythms are totally out of alignment, but oh yeah, you're so smart. Your pineal gland is all fucked from the constant blue light. You don't secrete melatonin properly anymore, physiologically, because your circadian rhythms, your neurotransmitters, your hormones, and your internal environmental switches are all out of alignment. But yeah, you're so smart. I drive a $200,000 car. I'm a doctor. I'm so smart. Look at me. Well, I'd rather be a poor man with a healthy body and mind than a rich man that lacks that. Because real wealth is first and foremost a byproduct of your health. It always will be this case. That will always be the case, excuse me. You've got to learn to redefine things. Real wealth here in the underworld, here in hell, is having health. Because what good is a bunch of money that you eventually earn to a person that has no common sense? Without common sense, you're not going to know how to invest that money. You'll probably just spend it on yourself. So many great things can be done with money. We've got to realign ourselves with the truth. And we start doing that, ladies and gentlemen, by rewiring our habits, by changing our daily actions so that they actually harbor arete, or virtue. That means that our actions should have quality to them, or qualities to them, that align us with our higher self, that align us with the best version of ourselves. Because if we don't take actions on a daily basis that aligns us with the version that we want to be, the version that we crave to be, and everybody strives to become better, don't lie, then if we're not doing that, then what are we doing? It means that we are happily falling down a downward spiral willingly, becoming complacent with the suboptimal. And the suboptimal to me is, or it should be, rejected entirely. Because accepting mediocrity as the norm means that you're okay with living in a stagnant river. And although you may be able to live there for a while, and although you may be able to handle it for a while, eventually all the oxygen in that river is going to completely be devoid. And what used to be normal, what used to be livable, becomes a cesspit where no life thrives, and your very life becomes restricted, constricted, and lost. So 2021 is upon us, folks. 2021 is here. This is the year of purification, at least on the Sacred Serpent YouTube channel. And it always has been. I've always promoted purification because purification is how we realign our out of alignment self. But 2021 is going to be a special year, especially after the conjunction. There's a lot of cosmic energy in this world available to us right now if we know how to look for it and how to be open to it. So open your mind, open your heart, get rid of all the crap out of your mind so that you can become a divine wand again. So that you can download all of the downloads that are now available to us. Recovering from this insane world starts with a purification process where you, over time, in a regimented manner, start to realign the parts of yourself that are divided and that are out of alignment. So start with the ground. It's that simple. What do you do when you build a house? Well, you start with the fucking foundation. You can't build a house from the roof down, can you? No. You build the foundation first and foremost. Only when the foundation is laid and the concrete is dry can you add the framing, the sides, the electrical, the sheetrock, the windows, the door, the roof, etc. Start with the ground. It's so basic, it's so simple that it's hard for the programmed mind to grasp. That all you have to do to start getting healthy is take your fucking shoes off. God has this weird way of having answers all around you all the time, but you can't see them because you're drunk on the New World Order cocktail. Your perception is completely clouded. You can't realize that it just starts with that. What you're looking at on the screen right now. Walking on the fucking ground, people. Come on. It's like I have to say the same thing over and over again. You have the power within you to attain eudaimonia, the merging of the higher self, the merging of the kundalini into your biofield. What this essentially translates to in layman's terms is the spirit contained within the flesh vehicle. You are a spirit bound to flesh. When the flesh and the spirit become aware of one another completely, this is when the kundalini rises up your spine and removeth the cloud above your first eye. I'm going to wrap this one up. I love you all. Peace out. I wanted to personally thank you for watching my videos and contributing to the growth of my channel. I could not do this without you, and your interest in my content is truly what motivates me and fuels my passion for making these videos and spreading my message. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. I wanted to remind you that this channel is a free educational tool that is listener supported, and if you would like to donate to my channel and donate to my cause, help make my life a little bit easier and help keep the lights on around here, you can do so by checking out the links in the description box below. There's a handful of not only ways to donate to my channel, but I also have links to different websites and different videos of mine, as well as my Amazon store, where you can check out a plethora of different health related products that I use and recommend. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your continued interest in my message, and until next time, peace be with you all.